Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has canceled an additional $500 million in mRNA vaccine research, and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Nome is working to build another migrant facility in Indiana. Good morning. I'm Corva Coleman from NPR News, and here are today's top stories. The Trump administration has announced plans to cancel more research to develop mRNA vaccines. NPR's Rob Stein explains.
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says the federal government is canceling about $500 million in mRNA vaccine research. Kennedy had already canceled more than $700 million in contracts to develop an mRNA vaccine to protect the country against the next pandemic. Kennedy questions the safety and effectiveness of mRNA vaccines. Most experts say mRNA vaccines are very safe and effective. Kennedy says the administration is focusing on a different technology that he says mimics natural immunity. Most experts consider that to be outdated technology. Rob Stein, NPR News.
President Trump says the FBI may have to get involved to end a walkout by Texas Democrats over new congressional maps. Trump responded to a call from Texas Republican Senator John Cornyn to use the FBI to help locate and arrest the absent lawmakers. From the Texas newsroom, Lauren McGaughy has more.
Senator Cornyn has sent a letter to FBI Director Kash Patel asking for help, arguing it's urgent with only a few weeks left in the special session to debate and pass new maps that'll hand 5 new seats to Republicans. Trump indicated he was open to the FBI idea.
Well, they may have to. No, I know they want him back. Not only the Attorney General, the governor wants him back.
The Texas House has been unable to debate the maps because of the Democrats' walkout. If the special session ends without a quorum, the governor can call another special session until they return. I'm Lauren McGaughy in Austin.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Nome says her agency is working with the state of Indiana to build a facility there. It would house 1,000 migrants in the U.S. who are here illegally. She's calling it the Speedway Slammer. It's similar to the facility in Florida called Alligator Alcatraz. For a little over a week now, Israel's been allowing countries to drop food aid into Gaza from cargo planes. This comes after images of starving people in Gaza prompted global outcry. NPR's Aya Batrawi reports on the challenges of airdrops.
Palestinians say the airdrops from Arab and European countries land haphazardly, sometimes in the sea and sometimes with the food unfit for human consumption. In a video posted on social media, a man named Uday Al-Quran picks up a handful of aid that's been airdropped into Gaza and is now full of sand. Al-Quran says this isn't how to deliver humanitarian aid. This, he says, is how to torment people. He asks, why can't this food be delivered through the border with Israel? Show us mercy, he pleads. Al-Quran was killed days later by a fallen airdrop Tuesday that crushed him, says the Al-Aqsa hospital where he worked as a nurse. Aya Batrawi, NPR News.
The Trump administration is seeking the release of grand jury testimony connected to the case of late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. It's also seeking grand jury transcripts from the separate case of his conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell. NPR's Elena Moore reports Maxwell's lawyers don't want her grand jury information released.
Maxwell is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence for sex trafficking and other charges, but in a court filing submitted Tuesday, her lawyers argued that making the transcripts public could negatively impact Maxwell's efforts to have the Supreme Court review her case. They wrote, quote, "Public curiosity is insufficient when Maxwell's legal and reputational interests are at stake." It comes as the Trump administration continues to face mounting criticism from supporters and lawmakers over its handling of information related to Epstein's case. Elena Moore, NPR News.
President Trump has announced he's forming a security task force for the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. From LAist, Libby Rainey reports.
President Trump signed an executive order mobilizing federal agencies to prepare for the historic event.
We'll do anything necessary to keep the Olympics safe, including using our National Guard or military.
The move comes in a time of extraordinary tension between Trump and the city of Los Angeles. Local officials have pushed back against the presence of masked immigration agents and the National Guard on the streets of LA this summer. The U.S. Secret Service is the leading security agency for the Games. That agency is under the Department of Homeland Security. The Republican tax and spending bill signed into law last month includes $1 billion for security and other costs related to the Olympic Games. For NPR News, I'm Libby Rainey in Los Angeles.
After months of waiting, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has received the $9 billion of funding approved by Congress for the 2025 fiscal year. That's according to CDC staff. NPR's Selena Simmons-Duffin has this exclusive report.
Most of CDC's funding goes straight to state and local health departments who work to promote public health in their communities. For months, CDC couldn't send out their money on schedule because of mysterious delays receiving funds from the Office of Management and Budget. Now, a senior leader at CDC tells NPR that the full budget for the 2025 fiscal year has been released by OMB. That's good news for many health departments, including those waiting on funding for a key overdose prevention program called Overdose Data to Action. However, last week, OMB issued a memo freezing several specific budget lines across CDC. Those programs can only pay for staff and benefits. Selena Simmons-Duffin, NPR News.
A New York startup has become the first company to publicly acknowledge plans to pursue the creation of gene-edited babies. NPR's Rob Stein has more.
The company, which is opening a lab in New York City, is called the Manhattan Project. The company plans to demonstrate that it would be safe to use the latest gene editing technologies to modify the DNA in human embryos. The goal is to prevent inherited diseases. The announcement comes amid a flurry of interest in trying to commercialize gene-edited human embryos, which has long been considered taboo. Proponents say modifying human embryos could alleviate a lot of suffering. Critics say it's dangerous and unethical and could lead to designer babies. Rob Stein, NPR News.
You're listening to NPR News.